Hey, hello and welcome back to another video, and happy end to 2022, beginning of 2023. So I wanted to film this video to kind of prepare you for 2023, help set some goals, let you know what I'm going to be doing, and if you also want to do it, then you can join me on this journey. The very first step that I always like to do before I begin my actual goal setting or my specific goals for the following year is to kind of brainstorm some ideas or some goals that I would like to achieve in 2023. And I always set myself three main categories. So for next year, I've set myself some personal goals, some business goals or work related goals, and some finance goals. So all of my goals are under those three main categories, because I feel like anytime that I have personally set more category goals than three, I've just overwhelmed myself too much and I haven't been able to achieve as many of the goals as I want to. So after that first step where you've kind of just brainstormed your ideas, I like to, underneath each goal of those three categories, write down why I want to achieve those goals. Like, what is it within me why I want to achieve it? For example, one of my goals is to hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. Now, the reason for that is because I want to put more effort into my Instagram and I want it to kind of be a creative outlet. And I feel like if I'm able to do that, then that will show through number. I know that some people don't like setting a number goal with things like, I want to save X amount of money or I want to have this many followers, but I think it's really important to have a number and something that you're striving towards, because then you can track progressively how you are going and how you are getting to that goal. And I think having a number set and a time frame on each is really important, but that'll come up a bit later in our next steps. So another sub branch of the first one is to kind of think, after you've kind of brainstormed each one, I want you to sit down and kind of think, how am I going to feel when I do achieve these goals? And if you're feeling happy and content, then absolutely that is a goal that you should take with you in 2023. If it is something that I think sits with you and you're like, oh yeah, I achieved it, yay me, and then move on, that's not something that I want to be a main priority for next year. Like, for example, in the past, one of my main goals was to graduate university, and although that was a huge achievement for me, after it happened, I was just like, okay, sick, I graduated. It wasn't this big thing like everyone makes it out to be. It was just I graduated. The things that were better for me and that made me feel more achievement was when the assignments were handed in and I got good grades and stuff like that, or when a prac went really well in my teaching degree. Those things made me feel really accomplished rather than the actual graduation ceremony itself. Or when I got my teaching registration, that was much more real than the graduation itself. So looking back, graduating probably wouldn't have been one of my main goals. I would have made it something like fulfilling my teaching registration or something like that, which was a bit more specific. Okay, step 2 of making your goals and setting your intentions for 2023, or what I did, is be specific about your goals. So now that you've kind of brainstormed and you've chosen the goals that you would like going forward in those three main categories that I've spoken about, which can be work or business, finance, and personal. So under personal, I always like to do my health and fitness. Now, I don't like to make those goals their own separate category, mainly because I feel like when my health and my fitness and wellness and my mindset and whatnot, when they are at their best, that is reflecting about how I am personally and how I project myself out into the world. So I find that when I make those goals underneath personal, it's really how I am improving myself. So that's why I like to make it under personal. So be specific about the goals and also set a time frame. I have mentioned that previously before, why I think it's important to set either a number or a time frame, because you can see progression. You can check in with yourself. You can see how it is progressing. If you don't set yourself a number and you just say, I want to be successful on Instagram, how do you measure that success? How is it that you're going to be yes, I have achieved that goal of being successful? How is it that you are going to be how am I going to track being successful? What does successful look like for me? So that's why I think having a number goal, like you can have an overarching, I want to be successful on Instagram, I want to achieve 100,000 followers in a year. Like that is super specific because you set the amount that you would like to do and you've set a time frame within the year or by the end of this year. And I think that, yeah, setting a time frame is really important. So for me, my goal with specifically Instagram, I will share the rest of my goals kind of at the end. I won't share all of them because some of them are a little bit more personal towards me, but the one that I did set that I've said with the 1,000 followers, I would like to achieve that by December next year. So that is exactly a year away, and I'm going to track each month about how I'm going with that specific goal. So that is step 2. Okay, step 3, we're becoming even more specific. So this step I think is also really important because it's kind of putting into your frame of mind the steps and the habits that you are going to put in place when moving forward. So the third step is, how am I going to achieve this goal? So I always like to think, what are the things that I can do in my everyday life to improve said goal? Like, what habits am I going to change, or what am I going to do differently in my life to achieve each goal? Because goals don't just happen, you have to work towards them. And if there is something in your life that you can change even minutely, it might help you towards that goal. So for example, something that I'm going to change or implement to achieve my goal that I've spoken about of 1,000 followers is I'm going to be more consistent on social media. Again, that is very vague. So I then went down again, and how am I going to measure that I'm being consistent? So for example, I'm going to post weekly on Instagram. I'm going to try and share a story every single day about what I'm doing in my life and things towards the things that I think are my niche, for example. So wellness and mental health is really important to me, so I want to try and post more about that kind of stuff, and also what I am doing to help with my mental health, whether that be journaling, going for walks, that kind of stuff. What I'm doing in my day-to-day life, I want to share it online. So that's how I'm going to measure being more consistent. Okay, this step is kind of something that I have not done in the past and that I'm implementing in 2023. I watched a video by Beck Stewart. I believe that's what she goes by on YouTube, but I follow her on Instagram. I will link her video below. I watched her video about how she plans out her year, and it is quite similar to how I do mine, and the steps that she takes are quite similar to the ones that I've already explained, but that is kind of something that everyone kind of does, like needs to be specific and whatnot. But this one is specifically what she has said, and I haven't tried before, so I'm definitely interested to see how it goes in 2023 and whether it will help and improve. So it is specifically that you are going to make a statement. So for each goal that you have, it's going to be a statement like, I will achieve 1,000 followers by December. I will do this by consistently posting online every single week and engaging with my followers. So it is a statement about each goal, about what the goal is, the time frame, and how you are going to achieve that goal. So it's kind of implementing all 3 steps that I've spoken about into a specific sentence. What she said she likes to do is to print out that statement and have it where you can see it, or like have it on your phone or have it on your vision board. So I haven't done that just yet. I have written it down in my journal that I will show you very shortly, but I haven't specifically printed it out and put it throughout the house. But I'll be interested to see if doing this statement will help me be more accountable and whatnot. So I will keep you up to date on that. And that is step 4. Very last step, number 5, is how are you going to keep yourself accountable? So the way that I like to do this is I like to share my goals with other people. In the past, I have done vision boards, or I have written it down in my journal, and that was very specific towards me. But I found when I spoke about my goals and when I became when I shared it with other people, specifically my family or my closest friends, it made it much more real it was something I was working towards, because they all knew that I was working towards it. It made me much more accountable to be like, they're all now expecting me to achieve this goal that I've told them and that I want to achieve, so I need to achieve it. And that can be bad in some ways. If you have set a goal for yourself that is not a goal that you want to achieve. So linking back to like step 1, where you really need to think about how you will feel with each one of your goals that you brainstormed. If one of your goals is specifically something that somebody else wants you to achieve, for example, if you're somebody that doesn't want to go to university, but your goal is to go to university because it is what society or your family expects of you, that goal is going to be really hard for you to achieve and really hard for you to be accountable towards, because it is not something that you want. So be really careful when you're making your goals and when you're telling people about your goals, that these are goals that you want to achieve, not goals that other people want to see you achieve. So yeah, I think that's super duper important. Make sure that everything that you do is for you, not for somebody else. And that is something that I learnt in 2022 as well. So last bit of kind of explaining what I did to set my goals before I show you is setting a few things. These are optional, of course. So I'll kind of show you what I have, and I have it sitting next to me here. And these are just like optionals, like you set your goals. How are you going to like track them? How are you going to show what you're going to achieve? So one of the things that I am bringing into 2023 with me is I have purchased this little book. It's from Kiki K. It's like absolutely gorgeous. It's this dusty pink faux leather book. Now, I saw online that it's really important to kind of keep all of your things in one place. Now, I have a couple of places. This one will be my main, but I also do have just like a 2023 like planner. So this one is going to be like my goals, journaling, manifestation, gratitude and whatnot. And then this one will be my planning. So I think it's really important to kind of have everything in one space. And I have seen online that a lot of people have advocated for things to be in one space. So already in my little booklet, I did my brain dump of the goals that I thought I wanted, and then I narrowed it down. And then in those categories, how I would achieve it, how I'd feel, setting specific time frames, and all of those type of things. So all of that so far is in here. This is where I'm also going to be doing my journaling and my manifestation. So I think it's important to buy things that you can physically write in. I also have created a Notion. If you've heard of Notion, a lot of people are talking about it at the moment, where I'm going to do some content creation planning. So that is my online version, and then I have these two paper versions. I will probably reach for these more than the online, just for everyday to-do lists, planning, journaling will be mainly in this, and then long-term planning will probably go on my Notion. So I've got those two journals, so that is an optional extra. If you like doing things online, obviously I would suggest leaning more towards that. If you're more somebody that likes to handwrite, that is one for you as well. Another optional extra that I have not tried, but again, I've pinched from Beck Stewart's video that I also want to try this year, is writing a letter to yourself. So this will be a letter that you're writing now, but as your future you perspective. So saying, this is what I achieved in this year, this is how I did it, and I am extremely grateful for all of these blessings that I have received in this year. So it's kind of like writing as if you have achieved all of your goals, and that you are so extremely grateful of all of the things that you have achieved in the year and all of the effort that you've put in. So I haven't done it before, but she speaks really highly of it, and I have heard it from other people before, that it's super, like, it kind of gets you in the frame of mind that you've already achieved these goals. And we'll see how it goes. I'm going to write that in my little book, probably after I film this video. So yeah, I will let you know how that goes and what I include in that in probably one of my weekly vlogs. Very last one that I've kind of lacked in 2022, but I know is super duper important, and I have been leaning more in towards it now towards the end of 2022. Geez, that's a bit of a mouthful. Is to be grateful. So I have written down a few things that I'm grateful for this year. I have mentioned it in some of my weekly vlogs and also in my recent Instagram posts that this year itself has been an extremely hard year for me, and so many things have changed that I thought were my belief systems, that I thought were going to be things that I achieved, and they've completely changed and shifted. So even though it's been a really tough year, I have decided that it is so extremely important to be grateful for the things that I have achieved and have done in this year. So that is something that I'm going to be taking with me in 2023 is gratitude, and I do want to practice gratitude more. So that is something that's an optional extra, but I think is so extremely important because it makes you grateful for the progress and not just the finished product as well. Take your own little spin on it. Obviously, you don't have to follow the steps that I've done, but it might inspire you to do it your way. So now I'm going to go into exactly what I have and what I have done, and kind of going through my goals for 2023. So like I've mentioned, I used this little booklet already and I set my goals for the year. So under business and work, which is where I am specifically doing everything for either my online side of things and also for a part-time job that I'm hoping to get, or a full-time job this year. So I've already explained that I want to hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. I would also like to achieve that on TikTok. I would like to hit 500 followers on YouTube. I want to start doing some sort of support work position. I have applied for some support coordinator roles, so we'll see how that goes. And then I would also like to start a wellness side hustle and launch a product. So those are my business/work goals, just like my brain dump overarching what I want. And then I went on to doing specific when I want them to be achieved by, but I won't go too much into detail of that. Financial, I would like to save a lump sum of money by December. I'm not going to go into too much about that because that's more of a personal goal for me and my partner. I would love to buy a car next year. I've been wanting a car for so long because I love the Toyota RAV4s and I've been wanting one for years. It's such a mum car, but I absolutely want one and I think they're amazing. So hopefully I can buy that in 2023. And then my last financial goal is to be financially free. So that one is very vague, and I do go into more about what that would look like when I got more specific. But essentially, I would like to not live paycheck to paycheck, and be a bit more free with where I spend my money, who I give my money to, that kind of stuff. Like, I want to be able to go on some holidays, obviously buy that car that I want, be able to save as well, you know, just be able to not be worried about money constantly. And then personal, we've got workout consistently 3 to 4 times a week. I would love to find a job that makes me feel fulfilled and passionate about it. I want to take Charlie on more walks. I was hoping for daily walks, but I know that that's not really something that will be able to happen every single day, so I kind of changed that one a little bit. I want to focus on self-care, prioritizing it every morning and specifically one day a week where it's purely self-care. And I really want to expand on my friendships. I found in 2022 that there were a lot of friends that I either lost or just come and go out of my life, and I really want to prioritize either spending more time with those friends, putting more effort into those friendships, or just expanding my friendships and finding more friends that will be around for longer than my friends that I've already had. So yeah, those are my goals for 2023. I did go into more specifics, but I do want to keep that just for myself and I've shared it with my partner so we can keep each other accountable of our goals. And then I haven't started writing in this just yet, but this is my 2023 planner. This is from Kiki K as well, so both are from Kiki K, and I absolutely love this. I had the 2022 planner that, if you have watched my videos for the whole year, you would have seen at the beginning of this year. And this is kind of like a wellness planner as well as like a weekly planner. So it starts with like your goals, how will you incorporate more self-care into your life this year, how can you be more mindful, some gratefulness tips. Like, that's just how it begins, and then it actually goes into your year. So before each month it gives you a month overview, and then each week looks like this. So this is like my favorite part of this planner, this side here. So it's got at the top moments for me, so things that have happened in your week that you kind of thought, oh, that was amazing. More romanticizing your life, which I think is super important. Your daily steps, hours slept, dinner plan for the week, what are you grateful for each week, each day / highlight, and then a little habit tracker at the bottom. So I really liked this because it kind of had everything in one spot. I could plan out my week, like my dinner plans, my habits for the week, and then on this side here, it's got each day of the week, water intake, and then room to write things. So I would write my to-do list in every one of those, or what I need to remember for each day. And then, yeah, that's just the overview of the month. And then at the end of each month, which I thought was amazing to look back on as well, is a monthly reflection page. So this has how I'm feeling for the month, 3 things I'm grateful for, things that I've learnt, challenges that I've faced, how can I overcome these challenges in the future, and what will I do differently next month. So just a little review on each month. And I thought that was so amazing this year, and it has been so extremely helpful, just kind of to process everything of the year and kind of look back and see how each month has gone for the year. Okay, and then last but not least, I created my vision board. Now, I have been creating vision boards for a few years now. I think maybe 4 years in total, I want to say. But last year, the end of 2021, going into 2022, I decided not to make one because I was super busy, and I kind of felt like at the end of 2021, I kind of achieved everything that I wanted to. I became a teacher, I found a relationship that I love, I moved out of home, like all of these big steps happened in 2021 that I thought, oh, 2022 can kind of be my year to just chill, you know. And I feel like not setting goals made this year feel not very fulfilled. And not many things happened, bad things happened. And I kind of think that it's because I didn't make a vision board, which is kind of like woo-woo crazy. But I really do think that it is a possibility that is why. So this is my vision board for 2023. I'll talk you through each one and then kind of how I set it out. So let me shove over so I can show a bit better from the side. So we start over here with kind of like my personal goals all kind of in one space. So I tried to make it personal, business over here, and then, well, financial, and then business kind of around the bottom there. So all of the finance is kind of up here, then business is kind of most of this bit, and then personal over here. So we've got Pilates and then weight training as well. So I absolutely love Pilates, and I have for a while, but I always put it on the back burner, but I do really enjoy doing it. So I do want to pick that up again in 2023. We've got some healthy eating as well. Do what you love, which kind of links to that I want to have a job or a career that I actually enjoy and I find passion in. We also have a picture of some friends and a quote that says, I'm a magnet for amazing friendships. So that's kind of bringing in that I want to expand my friendships, bring in some new people, expand on the ones that I already have So yeah, and then my partner and I really want to go and see the snow at some point next year, so that is a big goal for us. Going into kind of business slash work, I've got two of my favorite people. I also have another two favorite people that aren't on here, but we have Rachel Catherine and Georgie Stevenson. So they're both people or YouTubers that have gotten quite successful in the last couple of years, and I just wanted to put them on there to kind of be like, if they can do it, I can do it as well. So they're on there. We have some quotes about money or those kind of things, like my bank account grows while I'm sleeping, I'm a client magnet, that kind of stuff. I have 1,000 followers here in the middle. I also have 111,000 followers at the top, but I know that that's not something that I might achieve in a year, but 111 is a really important number to me. So, you know, aim high. I am aiming for the 1K, but still, I've got some brands that I would love to work with. So we've got Princess Polly, Esme Skin, and Naked Harvest. They're all brands that I am really passionate about and that I use regularly. So they're on there. I've got moving house. It's not specifically a goal for us next year, but our lease does end in April. So we will be looking for a new home or to continue doing this lease in April. So we both don't have a goal of moving out next year of this home, but we both kind of know that it'll probably happen because our lease ends in April. So we're both kind of like, yeah, we'll end up moving in April. So that's on there. And I do like changing up spaces. I think that it's really important to constantly change your space because it gives you a whole new mindset. So changing houses might give us a whole entire new mindset, which is pretty cool. I want to vlog more regularly because I feel like I kind of put it on the back burner this year, even though it's something that I really enjoy doing. So that is also something on here. Romanticizing my life more. And then up the top we've got a RAV4, some money. I couldn't find any pictures with Australian money, so we have American dollars on there, but that's okay. And then 1,000 follower plaque, but yeah. And then a goal setting thing down here. So that is how I have prepared for 2023 and my goals and vision board for 2023. I hope it has inspired you or helped you for how you can make your 2023 the best year yet. And I'm excited to see where we all take ourselves in the new year. So I hope you have enjoyed. Please give this video a like and follow me if you want to see more of these types of videos, because I would love to film them for you. Goodbye, and I'll see you in my next video.